It's crazy because the channel that I'm picking up right now, it's like I'm getting the words bittersweet. And so what I'm feeling is that as this person is falling in love with you, and they are falling in love with you, like this is your confirmation, they are also grieving what has been. It's almost like they're letting go of an entire relationship as they're creating this new one with you. And so there's going to be times where either you and this person, you or this person, or maybe both of you go in and out of, this past love connection that has been, but back into the present moment with what you are with each other together. This is a very specific message. So if this resonates for you thus far, then this message is most likely for you. We're going to dive into this connection because I don't want to leave it on the bittersweet, because I have like this bittersweet taste in my mouth. It's almost like black licorice or like red licorice. So maybe licorice is significant for you. Movies, you might have that in common with one another. Your love for movies, whatever it is. I'm picking up the sense of like this person has failed before. Like I have such a heavy feeling in my chest right now. Like I really, I feel for this person. Like I feel for this person that you are currently with, because it's like they're trying so hard to be everything they can for you, while also it's almost like I'm seeing like a part of them being ripped away. Like they're leaving behind this entire persona. And it's really painful. Like I feel like emotionally painful for this person, because it's like they did everything in their power in this past relationship and just nothing was enough, because it just wasn't the right time. It wasn't the right person. It wasn't their destiny. And that's a hard pill to swallow. Like that's a hard truth to make peace with. And so if you're wondering why you feel this separation with your person, or why, you feel this emotional distance at times, it's because this person is quite literally grieving an entire version of themselves. You're not the only one on this healing journey. Like you have met somebody who is also healing, and maybe they're not so vibrant with you about it. Maybe they're not so communicative with you about it. And maybe that's why at times it's frustrating for you, because you communicate so easily. You're able to vibrantly say, yes, I am on this healing journey. I'm actively working to be better for myself. This person isn't quite, they don't communicate in the same way, but it doesn't mean that they are not on this journey with you. And they are on this journey with you. Today, more than usual, I sense this heaviness. It's like, it just makes me want to cry, if I'm being completely honest. Like this person really loves deeply. And so the fact that you're awakening this person to that kind of love again, and keep in mind like that they're not going to experience the same love twice. Like with you, it's going to be beyond anything that they've experienced. But that's even more terrifying, because what they felt before in love, like that deep love connection they've had before, it was everything to them. And so to imagine that they're going to go beyond that with you is so intimidating. And so I'm not telling you this so that you can make excuses for your person. I'm telling you this so that you can understand what your person is going through. I'm telling you this so that you, maybe 333 on the timer, can gain a new perspective and therefore come forward in this connection with a new level of love, like a different kind of understanding, one where you are friends first, where you are able to just be a human being who cares for another human being, versus needing to label it as this or that, or showing up in the energy of, you're not doing enough for me. Let that go with this person, because they're doing everything they can and they are grieving at this time. Spirit, is there anything specifically that you would like us to know or dive into about this connection? They see you as their guiding light. You give this person the strength to keep going in this connection. Like they're looking to you. Like it's almost like I see them looking to you to make sure that you're still in it. And it's going to be like step by step, like you holding their hand, like you holding each other's hands and both stepping forward together step by step. This doesn't feel like a moment of leaps and bounds within this connection. This feels like a step by step, like 4 on the timer. Like I said, 1, 2, 3, 4 may be significant here. It's almost like you're both, whenever one or both of you gets scared, the other person is quick to say, hey, it's okay. Like I'm here for you. It's okay. And sometimes that can be the most powerful form of love that you can show somebody, is just saying, hey, I'm here. It's okay. And so I really feel strongly that this person isn't going anywhere. This person isn't leaving you in the dust. This person isn't changing up their energy. You might feel their energy change, but like I said, it's because they're living in almost 2 different worlds right now. So don't let your mind get away from you. Don't let your ego get in the way of what is genuinely true with this person. If you feel called to dive further into this love connection, I offer personal FaceTime sessions, texting sessions, and general emails. I also offer a VIP texting membership where you can hear from me throughout the day. And stay tuned, because I will be coming forward to you with a course on manifesting, calling in, and preparing for your true love soulmate. You can click the link in my bio. Spirit, can we get one card? Slow moving, but slow and steady.
Dear soul, if you have stayed until this moment, I don't believe it was by chance. Perhaps these words found you at exactly the time your heart needed them most. Before you leave, don't let the message become just another video you watched. Receive it. Hold on to it. Let it become part of your story. Right now, declare these words with faith. I am chosen. I am deeply loved. I am not forgotten. God is working behind the scenes for me. My love is protected. My future is blessed. My story is not over. Say it again, and then say it one more time. Speak it until your fears grow quiet, until your heart begins to believe what heaven has already spoken over your life. Even if you cannot see the miracle yet, trust that God is already moving in places your eyes cannot reach. As you leave this message today, remember this: you are not walking into tomorrow alone. God is going before you, making a way where there seems to be no way. Every delay has a purpose. Every tear has been seen. Every prayer has been heard. And at the appointed time, what He has prepared for you will find you. If this message touched your heart, please don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone you love. Somewhere, someone is carrying a burden they have never told anyone about. Someone is wondering if God still sees them. Your share could be the very answer to the prayer they've been whispering in silence. You may never know whose life you help change simply by passing this message on. And if God places it on your heart to support this ministry, you can do so through a super thanks. Whether it's $5, $10, $20, or any amount you feel led to give, your generosity allows these messages of faith, hope, and God's unfailing love to continue reaching people who desperately need them. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for being part of this journey. I pray that God blesses every seed you sow, opens doors no one can shut, restores everything you thought was lost, and pours out blessings beyond anything you could imagine. May your kindness return to you 100-fold, and may your life become a living testimony of God's perfect love, perfect timing, and perfect faithfulness. You are loved. You are chosen. And your greatest chapter is still ahead. There is a specific kind of love that arrives while something else is still leaving. Not the casual kind of leaving, not the quiet fading of a connection that had already run most of its course before anyone acknowledged it. The real kind. The kind of departure that happens when someone who loved deeply, who gave genuinely, who put the full weight of who they are into something, finally has to accept that the thing they gave everything to was not their destiny. That the love was real and still not enough. That doing your absolute best can still produce an ending. That is what this person is moving through. And they are moving through it while simultaneously, somehow, falling in love with you. I want to take a moment with that before we go anywhere else, because it deserves to be understood rather than rushed past. The falling in love is real. This is your confirmation, offered directly and without qualification. What they feel for you is genuine and growing, and not something they are performing or managing. But it exists inside a complexity that is not always visible from the outside. And that complexity is why there have been moments when the distance between you felt unexplained. They are not in one world right now. They are in two. The world of who they were, who they built themselves to be inside a relationship that was everything to them, still has rooms in it that they are visiting. Not because they want to stay there. Not because the past is more appealing than what is forming with you. But because leaving an entire version of yourself is not a single act. It is a process. A slow, sometimes painful, sometimes disorienting dismantling of the identity that was constructed around a love that ultimately did not last. Think about what that actually means for a moment. Not just losing a person, losing a self. The self that was the partner in that relationship. The self that knew their role, their place, the particular shape of their days when that person was in them. The self that tried everything and still arrived at an ending they did not choose and cannot entirely make peace with. Because making peace with something that genuinely was not your fault and still caused you profound loss is one of the hardest things a human being can do. This person has been doing that work. Quietly, without advertising it. In the private interior of someone who does not communicate their healing the way you might. Not because the healing is not happening, but because the language they use for it is internal rather than expressed. And while they have been doing that work, you arrived. Like something the universe arranged before they had finished preparing for it. That is not a mistake. That is the particular timing of things that are genuinely meant to happen. But here is where the story asks something of you, and it asks it gently, but genuinely. They are doing everything within their current capacity. That sentence carries more weight than it might initially seem to. Because capacity, when you are simultaneously falling in love and grieving the deepest connection you have previously known, is genuinely limited. Not permanently, but presently, in this specific season of their becoming, there are competing demands on what they have available to give. And the version of them that shows up some days will be fuller than the version that shows up on others, and the variance will not always be easy to sit with. There will be moments when you feel the emotional temperature drop without warning. When they seem to recede into something you cannot quite follow or reach. When the distance between you has a quality that your mind understandably begins to interpret as a message about their feelings or their commitment or the future of what you are building together. And the guidance coming through with unusual clarity and unusual care is this: that interpretation is not accurate. What you are feeling in those moments is the ripple of someone moving between two emotional worlds. The residue of grief pressing through into the present, not a withdrawal from you specifically, but the natural consequence of a person who has not yet finished leaving something that mattered enormously to them. They are not disappearing. They are navigating. And through all of it, through the complexity and the grief and the days when carrying both worlds has left them quieter or heavier than usual, they look to you. That is the part of this that is genuinely moving to sit with. You are their guiding light. Not in the performative sense of someone who has been assigned a role they did not ask for, but in the organic sense of someone whose presence genuinely gives another person the courage to keep choosing forward. They look to you to see if you are still there, still invested, still holding the space of this connection with the same quality of care and commitment they are working to return in full. And when they see that you are, when they look and find you present rather than retreating, something in them steadies, something that was wavering finds its footing again. Your staying is not passive. Your staying is the active, ongoing, quietly heroic thing that makes it possible for them to keep coming toward you one step at a time. This is a step-by-step love, not a leap, not the rushing, all-at-once arrival of something that has nowhere to go but forward and nothing to negotiate. Something more measured, more careful. The kind where each small movement toward each other carries the genuine of a genuine choice, made by two people who are both, in their own ways, moving through the complexity of becoming the versions of themselves capable of holding what they are building. And there is a beauty in that, even when it is frustrating, even when the pace feels slower than you wish it were, even when the emotional availability is not what you know this person is capable of. Once the grief has moved fully through them, there is something about a love that arrives one chosen step at a time, that has a quality of realness and durability that the dramatic, all-consuming kind does not always produce. Each step is a decision. Each decision is a declaration. And the accumulation of those small declarations adds up to something that, when you look back on it, will reveal itself as the solid ground of something genuinely lasting. Here is the insight that I keep returning to, the one that I think reframes this entire story in the most important way. The love they had before was real, and it is exactly why what they are developing with you is so significant. This is counterintuitive. We tend to think of previous loves as obstacles or complications, as things that make it harder to be present for what is current. But this person's capacity to love you the way they are capable of loving you exists precisely because they have loved deeply before. Because they know what it costs. Because they have felt the full weight of genuine intimacy and walked away from its loss changed rather than simply hurt. Someone who has never loved deeply cannot love deeply. They can only love as much as they have previously allowed themselves to risk. This person has risked everything for love before and survived losing it, and is, despite that history, or more accurately, because of that history, choosing to risk again. For you, that is not a small thing. That is one of the bravest things a human being can do. To love again after losing love in the fullest sense of that phrase. To open again after closing. To choose again after everything that the last choosing cost is an act of profound courage that deserves to be met with profound understanding. What is also true, and this is perhaps the most tender and most terrifying part of this story, is that this person has a sense, even they cannot yet fully articulate it, that what is forming with you will exceed anything they have previously known. And that terrifies them, not because they do not want it, because they do. Because the specific quality of what they feel when they are fully in the present with you, when the grief is not pressing through, when they are not between worlds but simply here, is something that has already given them a glimpse of what this love is capable of becoming. And loving you at that level, with that fullness, means risking loss at that level. They are making peace with that risk. Slowly, step, in the same measured rhythm that characterizes everything about how they are moving through this. But it is happening. You can feel it in the moments when they are fully present, Those those particular crystalline moments of genuine connection that make all the harder moments worth navigating. Those moments are the truth of this connection. The distance is the weather they're moving through to get there permanently. You, yes, you, who communicates your healing openly and might sometimes wonder why they can simply do the same, are being asked for something that may not come naturally. Patience. Not the passive kind that simply waits, the active kind, the kind that shows up consistently, that offers the specific and profound reassurance of I'm here, it's okay, without requiring anything back in that moment. The kind that understands the difference between someone who's not ready to receive your love and someone who is receiving it but cannot yet respond in full. This person is receiving it. Every bit of it. Even the parts they are not yet able to reflect back to you with the same expressiveness you offer them. It is landing. It is mattering. It is, in fact, the primary thing giving them the courage to keep choosing forward through the grief and the fear and the complexity of arriving somewhere new while still leaving something old. Do not let your mind construct a story of abandonment where there is only a story of transition. Do not let your ego interpret their quieter days as evidence that what exists between you is insufficient. And please do not ask them to perform a healing they have not finished in order to make you feel more certain about a connection that is, despite all its complexity, one of the most real things either of you has encountered. They are not going anywhere. They are just moving slowly, not reluctantly, carefully. The way people move when they understand that what they are moving toward is precious enough to deserve their most deliberate approach. One step at a time. That is the rhythm of this. One step, and then another, and then another. Each one chosen, each one real, each one adding to something that is being built with the kind of care that only comes when both people understand what is at stake. When one of you falters, the other reaches out a hand. When one gets scared, the other says, I'm here. Not with grandiculate speeches. Or perfectly timed speeches. With this simple, sustaining, completely genuine presence of someone who has decided that this is worth it. And it is worth it. Both of you know that. In the quiet moments when the complexity falls away and you are simply two people being honest with each other, you both know. Hold that knowing. In the harder moments, come back to it. Let it be steadier than the fear. It will not let you down.